Hello, EP5, and welcome. Today we are going to do a review for our final exam. So I'd encourage you to get out a piece of paper and perhaps a pencil and your review sheet if possible. So let's go ahead and get started here with number one. And number one asks us to round this number to the nearest hundredth. And we have the number 58 and 278,135 millions. But we're really only concerned with these first three digits after our decimal sign. So let me go ahead and write just that part of the number out. So this is 58 and 278 thousandths now. And we're going to look at the number that is just to the right of our hundredths digit. So step one, find our hundredths digit. And then step two is to look at this 8. And we're going to take our 8 on a ride on the rounding roller coaster. So let me just sketch this out. So we have on the left side of our rounding roller coaster, we have the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And on the right side are the numbers 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. And if a number is on the right side of this rounding roller coaster, we're going to round up to 58 and 28 hundredths. If it was a number less than 5, we would round down to 58 and 27 hundredths. So we're going to take this 8 here and just take them for a ride on the rounding roller coaster. And of course, we know now that we need to round up, which means really we need to add 1 to the previous digit or the hundredths digit. So we're going to take and add 1 plus 1 to this 7. So this becomes 58 and 28 hundredths. So let's go ahead and pick that from our list here. And it looks like that'll be number 458 and 28 hundredths. Okay, so let's look here at number 2. It says to round this number to the nearest tenth. Okay, so for this, we have the same number again, but we're now only concerned with these two digits right here. As we're looking at this 2, and we're either going to round up to 58.3 or round down to 58.2. And of course, let me just write this out. This is 58.27 now. And so first step is to look at our tenths digit, and then we need to look to the right. And we see that the 7 is going to be a big number. So we know we need to round up here. So that means plus 1 to our tenths digit. So this is going to round up to 58.3 or 58 and 3/10. That's my answer there for number 2. So let me go ahead and circle number 1 here and move on to number 3, which says round this number to the nearest whole number. Now for this number, uh, we need to think of the whole number as really our ones digit. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at just our number here, and we're only going to look at just the first decimal after the ones digit or the tenths digit. And so I'm going to rewrite this as 58.2 for now. Okay. And then our first step is to find the ones digit. So of course that's the 8. And then we look to the right and we see that the 2 is going to be a small number. Now if we revisit our rounding roller coaster for a second here. We know that if a number is a small number or less than 5, we know that we need to round down, which really means the digit in question, or in this case, the one digit, is going to stay the same, okay? So it's going to stay an 8 there. So the number will round down here to a 58. So this is going to round down to just 58. Okay. So this will be 58. And let's go ahead and circle that in our list of options here. So that's number 1. All right. Number 4 says, what is the digit value of the 7 in 0.0755? Okay, so we're just looking at this 7 here, and we know that for the place value of that 7, it would be 100th. However, this asks for the digit value, and of course, for this number, the digit value is 7/100ths. So just be sure not to select 100th there. We know the digit value is 7/100ths. Okay. Next one, number 5, says which decimal has the greatest value of this list. So don't be fooled and pick this number here. It happens to be the longest number, but if we compare side by side 4 and 9 thousandths, and we line that up vertically with 4 and 100th, we start from the left, okay? Those two numbers are the same, those two numbers are the same, and obviously this number is bigger, so we should select 4 and 100th for number 5, and that is number 3. Okay, moving on to number 6. It says, Namo rides his bicycle to and from school each day. One way is 9 2/2 kilometers. How many kilometers would he ride in 5 days? Okay, so first I think I should sketch this out quickly. And we have Namo's house here, which is 9 2/2 kilometers away from school. So he's going to bike 9 2/2 kilometers in the morning before school. Okay, and then let me sketch school here really quickly. So we've got school here, and the key here is to realize that he's going to and from school each day. So we need to consider the fact that one day is going to be there and back. So we should have 9 2/2 kilometers going home as well. And this represents a full day of bike riding for Namo. So we can think of this as one day. Okay, and our question asks for 5 days. So first I need to figure out what's the grand total for one day. I could either add these, or I could multiply 9.02 times 2. So let me go ahead and do that really quickly. So we take 9.02 times 2, okay, and we get, for this one, we know we have 2 decimal places on our top number. So we need to put the decimal here right in the middle, or 2 places from the right there in the middle. So that'll be 18.04 kilometers per day. Okay. So that's just for one day. And then we know that we are going to have to find 5 days. So let's take this one day total, and we're going to multiply that by 5. So we take 18 4/100ths for our one day total, and we're going to multiply that by 5. And that should give us our total for 5 days. Let's go ahead and do that. That's going to be okay. So this will be 2 decimal places on the top number, 0 decimal places down on the bottom number. So we know we need to put our decimal right in the middle there, or 2 places from the right. And that's going to be our grand total for 5 days, which is 90 and 2/10 kilometers. So let's go ahead and circle that option number 2 for number 6. So let's go ahead and move forward here. It says Young Jia makes $11.75 per hour as a lifeguard. If he works 8 hours, how much money will he earn? Okay, so we have our hourly rate here. This will be $11.75. And then we need to multiply that by 8 hours. So this will be times 8 here. So let's go ahead and do that and we'll work it out there. Okay, and I get 40 and 60. Carry my 6 here. 14. And we get 9. So I see that I have 2 decimal places in this top number and then 0 on the bottom number. So I need to put my decimal right here in the middle, and that'll be $94. Okay, so let's go ahead and find that in our list here, and that'll be number 3, option 3, $94. That's a decent payday for young Gia. All right, so this problem number 8 says, each plastic bottle holds 4 1/100 liters of water. Okay, so I've got a plastic bottle here. It holds 4 1/100 liters of water. And the question asks, how much water can 9 plastic bottles hold? So I know I need to multiply here by 9 bottles since I have 9 plastic bottles. So really all I need to do here is take 4.01 liters per bottle times 9 bottles and work that out here. And that's going to be 9, 0, and 36. So we see we have 2 decimal places on this top number. So we know we need to put the decimal right there in the middle. And that's going to be 36 9/100 liters of water for those 9 bottles. So that is option number 2 here. So 36 9/100 liters. Next question says, Juan can buy movie tickets for $6.75 each. She has $30 in her pocket. How many movie tickets can she buy? Okay, first, for this one, I'm just going to sketch out what one ticket looks like. We know that one ticket is going to be $6.75. So this is going to be one ticket here. And there's a few ways you could do this problem. I think a good strategy here might be to try some mental math. Just do some estimation to try and figure out how many tickets Juan will be able to buy. And keep in mind that we won't be able to have, say, a fraction of a ticket. So we know that if we count up here, let's see here, if I have 2 tickets, we know that that is $7 about for the first ticket. And then for 2 tickets, it's going to be a little less than $14. For 3 tickets, that's going to be $21 so far, a little less. Okay. For 4 tickets, that's going to be about $28, a little less. So we can stop there and think here. So we have a little less than $28. So we know we can definitely afford 4 tickets. And since we have $30 in our pocket, can we afford a fifth ticket? We most certainly could not. As you see here, if you can estimate, we have 7, 14, 21, 28 for 4 tickets. And then this will put us over the edge here with the fifth ticket, because that's going to be, say, roughly 35, a little less than 35. So we know that the fifth ticket isn't going to be possible. So we should select there 4 tickets, okay? If you want to do division here, that's also another strategy. So you could take $30 and divide by 6.75. So we know if we did that, we would get something a little over 4, okay? So we'll move the decimal there a couple spots and move this decimal here 2 spots as well, okay? And if we divided this out, we would get something like 4 and 4 repeating 4, okay? But that's not necessary to really divide further than that. We know that if we can afford 4 tickets, we can't afford a fifth. So this is option 4, obviously. So just 4 tickets there for this one. All right. Number 10 says, what number can be multiplied by 4.3 to give the product of 29.67? So I'm going to put in my dividend here, 29 and 67 hundredths. And I am going to divide by 4.3. So my divisor is 4.3. So let's go ahead and work this out. Before we get started, we see that we have a decimal here in our divisor. So we need to first move this decimal 1 place to the right. And we also need to move this decimal in our dividend 1 place to the right as well. So this is going to look like now this number, okay? So we have 296 and 7/10 here. So let's go ahead and divide this number now. Looks like we could probably go 43 goes into 296 6 times. So I'm just going to take 43 times 6 off to the side here really quickly. And I get 24, 25, 258. Okay, so I'm going to write 258 here and then subtract and bring down. So let's just subtract here. We get 8. Okay, 3. And that's going to be 7, bringing down our 7 there. All right, and now I need to figure out, first of all, before we go any further, we need to take this decimal and move it straight up. So this decimal is going to go straight up here. And next I need to take 43 into 387. And I think that'll work out if we just do 43 times 9. Let's see. If it's 387, then we won't need to go any further. We could just stop there. So that works out. So we got 6 and 9/10 here for that one. So that's number 10. So we should select option number 2. Okay. All right, number 11, moving along. Looks like we are starting the conversion section of the final exam review here. So we have 10 centimeters equals how many millimeters? Before we go any further, let's look at and remember our little mnemonic here for this one. This is King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. And that's going to help us remember how to get from each of these units. So this would be, say, kilometers, hectometers, okay? This is decameters. All right, and then this would be our units. So in this case, this is going to be the unit meters, okay? And then this would be decimeters. And this is obviously centimeters. And this is millimeters out here, okay? And we remember that if we are going from, say, a big digit, in this case, or sorry, a big measurement, say centimeters to millimeters, we can think we know we need to multiply by 10, and we can remember the phrase, horse to a fly, you must multiply. So I like to remember that phrase for myself. Anytime I'm going from, say, centimeters to millimeters, I say the phrase horse to a fly, you must multiply. Okay, so we know we need to, in this case, we know we need to multiply, let's see here, by 10. Okay, so let's just do that one. And we could fill out the rest of this later, perhaps. Well, that's going to be times 10 here. So we know that 10 times 10, so 10 centimeters times 10 is obviously equal to 100 millimeters. Okay, so we need to be careful here. As you see, the abbreviation for millimeters is mm. So don't be fooled here and select option number 1. It happens to be 100 m, but that's 100 meters. So be careful here with your units and make sure you select option 4 instead, 100 millimeters, okay? So number 12 now. Let's look at number 12. It said, On has a durian tree that is 50 meters tall. Okay, so let's go ahead and sketch On's durian tree here. Okay, and this tree is 50 meters tall. All right, and we need to look here at our options. It says which answer is equal to 50 meters. So we've got 4 options here. Let's go ahead and just start with the first one and see if those are equal. So we have 50 meters, and we're converting to millimeters. So we're going to make sure we convert this 50 meters into millimeters and see if that first option is the one that is equal to 50 meters. All right, so let's go back up to this here, King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk trick here. And we know in this case, we're going to go from meters to millimeters. So I need to fill out the rest of this. And this is going to be times 10 if we were going from decimeters to centimeters. And then from meters to decimeters is also times 10. So looking here, I'm going from meters all the way to millimeters. So I know I need to go 3 steps here. So this is going to be times 10 times 100 times 1000. Okay, so looking back here, I've got 50 meters, and I need to multiply by 1000 here. Okay, so what I really do here is I'm going to erase this meters here really quickly, and I'm going to take my decimal, and I'm going to move it 3 digits to the right. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 digits there with my decimal. My new decimal is going to be out here, and I'm just going to draw zeros here. Okay, and this is going to be the number 50,000 now. So I'm going to write that as 50,000 there without a decimal. So that's going to be 50,000 for our answer for millimeters. Okay, so that's 50,000 millimeters. And that matches up with the option number 1 there, so that works out. All right, so it's 50,000 millimeters. So for that one, you need to find the option that is equal to 50 meters. Okay. Next one, it says, number 13 says, the distance between two houses in Bangkok is 7.2 kilometers. Okay. And the question asks, how many meters is this? So between these two houses, we have 7.2 kilometers. And we need to convert kilometers to meters in this case. So if I'm going to go back up to my chart here, I have 7.2 kilometers, and I need to go to meters. So let's go ahead and fill the rest of this out. If I'm going from kilometers to hectometers, that's going to be times 10. Okay, kilometers to decameters is going to be times 10. And then decameters to meters will be times 10 again. So if I'm going here from kilometers, 7.2 kilometers to meters, I know that I need to go 3 steps here. So that's times 10 times 100 times 1000. So I need to take 7.2 times 1000 here. So I've got my decimal here, and I need to multiply this by 1000. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3 digits to the right here. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, and my new decimal is going to be out here. Okay, and I'm just going to erase my old decimal there and add 2 digits there. That's 7,200 meters. Okay, so that's my answer. 7,200 meters is equal to 7.2 kilometers. So that is option 2. All right, so let's move on. This says 5,432 centimeters to meters. Okay, so let's see here. King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. Okay, I'm going from centimeters back to meters. Okay, so for this one, we're going the opposite way. Okay, so I'm going all the way from centimeters to meters this time. Okay, and we remember the phrase here when we're going, say, from a smaller unit to a larger unit. We can remember fly to a horse, divide, of course. Okay, so I always just repeat that phrase to myself when I'm not sure if I'm multiplying or dividing. I say fly to a horse, divide, of course. So in this case, we're going from a small unit or a fly to a big unit or a horse. And we know that we need to divide. Okay, so each step here is going to be to divide by 10. Okay, from centimeters to decimeters. And then divide by 10 again to go from decimeters to meters in this case. So I know that I need to go 2 steps. So that's going to be divide by 10 and divide by 100. So I just need to take this number 5,432 and divide by 100, which really means I need to take my decimal here and move it 2 places to the left. Okay, so when we divide, we move it backwards here. And so that's going to be now 54 and 32 hundredths meters, sorry. All right, so that's 54 and 32 hundredths meters. All right, and moving on to the next one. After selecting number 2, and this next one says 7 and 1,000 meters equals how many centimeters? So here we need to do pretty much the same steps as last time. Just go from meters to centimeters. So that's going to be 2 steps, but in this case, we're going from meters to centimeters. That's going to be 2 steps again, but we're going from, in this case, a big unit to a small unit. So we need to remember for this one, we remember horse to a fly. Horse to a fly, you must multiply. Okay, so that's the phrase we can say here because we're going from a large unit to a small unit here. So multiply again by 100, okay? And that really means we're going to move our decimal 2 places to the right. So if we have 7.001, we need to take our decimal and move it 2 places to the right there. So that becomes 700.1 centimeters for our answer. And that obviously matches option 4. Okay, so that's number 15. Number 16 here says 1,001.9 millimeters equals how many meters? Okay, so for this one, we need to go several steps here, looks like. So let me write out my King Henry phrase again here. King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. Okay. In this case, we're going from meters or millimeters, okay, back to meters. So I'm thinking fly to a horse, divide, of course. This is going to be divide by 10, divide by 100, and divide by 1,000 here. So we got 3 steps there. All right. So I'm going to move that decimal, in this case, 3 places to the left. So this decimal is going to go 3 places to the left. We have 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that's where my new decimal is going to go. So this number is going to become 1.0019. And that is going to be meters. Okay, so let's just look here carefully which one matches that option. Looks like that is going to be 1 here. So option 1 matches up there. So we can move on to number 17. Okay, so number 17 says 765 millimeters to centimeters. So we're just going 1 step here, and we think fly to a horse, divide, of course. So we have 765, and we're going to divide by 10. Okay, so that means to move my decimal 1 place to the left. Okay, so that gives me 76.5 centimeters is equal to 765 millimeters. Okay, so let's look here. That is option 4. Okay, so select 4 for that one. And moving on to the next one, let's look at number 18. 18 is 18 meters to millimeters. So we need to go a few steps here on our King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. Okay, and so we're having to go from meters to millimeters. So this is horse to a fly, you must multiply. So we need to multiply by 10, and then multiply by 10, and then multiply by 10 once more. Okay, and that's going to be times 10 times 100 times 1,000. So I need to take 18 meters times 1,000. So that's going to look like this. I'm going to need to move my decimal 3 places to the right. So I'm going to move this decimal here 1, 2, 3 places to the right. And that becomes 18,000 here for this number 18, that's 18,000 millimeters, okay, is equal to 18 meters. All right. So let's go ahead and find that option. Looks like 18,000 millimeters is option 4. Okay, next one. 7 centimeters to millimeters here. So this one's going to get easier, hopefully. We have 7 centimeters, and we're going horse to a fly. You must multiply. In this case, we're going to multiply by 10. Just move our decimal one place to the right, and we see that that's going to be the number 70. Okay, so we have 70 millimeters is equal to 7 centimeters here. So you should pick option number 3, 70 millimeters. And again, be careful, as we have millimeters here and meters here. Same number, different units. Make sure you look at your units carefully. Alrighty, next one. Number 20 says 300 centimeters equals how many millimeters? I think we just did that for our last one. We did. So we know we just need to multiply by 10 here. So that's going to be 300 centimeters and multiply by 10. And I should get 3,000 millimeters after moving my decimal one place to the right. Okay. All right. So I get 3,000 millimeters here. So let me select option 2 here. Option 2. Okay. Moving on. It says when converting kilograms to grams, you blank by 1,000. All right, and I'm going to draw a terrible horse here, representing my big unit. All right, so this is going to be my lovely horse for tonight. All right, I don't know how this is going to go. Okay, there's my horse. All right, don't make fun of my artwork. It's beautiful, I know. Okay, looks more like a dinosaur. But we have horse to a little fly. Okay, so horse to a fly. You must multiply, right? So if we're going horse to a fly, you must multiply, as in a big unit to a small unit. We know we need to multiply. Okay, so you should select there option number 4, multiply. Okay, all right, so that is option 4. Horse to a fly, you must multiply. All right, and then option 5 is going to be the opposite here. It says when converting grams to kilograms, you blank by 1,000. Okay. In this case, we're going from a small unit or a little fly. Okay. And we're going to a big unit, another beautiful horse. This one might even be more beautiful than before, perhaps. We never know what's going to come out here. All right. So this is my horse. Again, a dinosaur. Alrighty, there we go. Okay, so this case, I'm going fly to a horse. So I'm going to go from a fly to a horse. And in that case, divide, of course. Okay, so we know we need to divide here. For this one should be divide. Okay, so if we're going from grams to kilograms, we know we need to divide. And we could see that we say 1,000 grams is equal to how many kilograms. So we know here that we would need to move our decimal back 3 places in order to get to kilograms. So we would need to divide by 1,000, okay? And that would give me 1 kilogram. Alrighty? So that one is divide. All right, so that's number 22. Moving on to number 23 here, we have 19,600 grams is equal to how many kilograms? So for this one, we remember fly to a horse, divide, of course. And like we just talked about before, we know we're going to need to divide by 1,000 here. So this decimal can go 1, 2, 3 places back. And basically, we're going to just change our comma to a decimal here. And that's going to be 19.6 kilograms, or 19 6/10 kilograms for number 23. Alrighty, so select number 4 there for number 23. And moving on. Next one says 8.4 kilograms to grams. So this time we're going from a horse to a fly. So we must multiply. And we remember that we need to multiply here by 1,000. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that for that one. We should multiply by 1,000 there. So we're going 1, 2, 3 places to the right with our decimal. So that decimals ends up going there and making this 8,400 grams equals 8.4 kilograms there. So that's 8.4 kilograms for that one. So we should say 8,400 grams. And that is option number 2. Okay. Moving on to number 25. It says 9.2 kilograms plus 3 kilograms. Okay, so that equals how many grams? Okay, so there's a few ways you could do this. You could start by converting each of these to, say, grams first, or you could add these up as kilograms and then convert to grams. Either one is fine. I'm just going to add up quickly 9.2 kilograms plus 3 kilograms. Okay. And that's going to give me 12.2 kilograms. And I can't stop there. I need to make sure I convert now to grams here. All right. So that's going to be a horse to a fly. You must multiply. So we need to take 12.2 times 1,000. And that means I need to move my decimal 1, 2, 3 places to the right. That'll give me 12,200 grams for that one. Okay, so that's number 25. 12,200 grams is option number 4. All right, we're almost there. We're on number 26. All right, it says 4,000 grams plus 3,200 grams plus 500 grams equals how many kilograms? All right, so here I think I might just convert to kilograms first. I'm just going to do this in my head. I know that 4 kilograms is equal to 4,000 grams. So this is going to be 4 kilograms plus 3.2 kilograms. Okay, and this will be plus 500 grams, which is just 0.5 kilograms. I think it might be best to write that vertically here, or you could add it in your head. So we're taking 4.0 plus 3.2 plus 0.5 kilograms. And I get, of course, 7.7 kilograms for that one. And let's look carefully at our options. We see that as number 2, 7.7 kilograms, or 7 7/10 kilograms. Okay, number 27 says, if a paper clip weighs about the same as a gram, what is the approximate mass of 3,000 paper clips? Okay, so let's pretend this is a paper clip here. And this one paper clip weighs about 1 gram. And we have 3,000 paper clips. So I could think of this as 1 times 3,000 paper clips. All right, so I'll take 3,000 times 1 is obviously 3,000. Okay. So let's go ahead and then just think of that as 3,000 grams. So that'll be 3,000 grams for the paper clips about. And it says, which one of these matches this approximate mass? And obviously 3,000 grams is equal to 3 kilograms. Okay. So we should select option 2 for that one. And we're moving on to number 28. It says, Arnie has a mass of 40 kilograms. His brother weighs 90 kilograms. What is their total mass combined? All right, so we could add this up first as kilograms. I'm going to take 40 kilograms plus 90 kilograms for their combined mass. All right, and that's 130 kilograms total for the two of them combined. And I don't see 130 kilograms in my options. It looks like I'm going to need to convert 130 kilograms to grams. So I need to take 130 times 1,000. And of course, that is 130,000 there for this one. So that's 130,000 grams, which matches number 2. All right, last one, we did it. Okay, an Aldabra tortoise has a mass of 670 kilograms. What is the mass of the tortoise in grams? Okay, so we have this turtle here. All right, let's just draw the turtle for fun since we made it. All right, there's my lovely turtle. Okay, he's got a tail and maybe a smile as well. All right, he's happy we made it. Okay, he has a mass of 670 kilograms, and we need to convert that to grams. So we need to take that times 1,000, of course. All right, so that is going to give us 670,000 grams for the last one here, and we did it. So let's circle that option and call it a day there. That is number 2. Okay, so we're done for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you all do very well on your final exam. Best of luck.